I've got about 3, maybe 4 hours now under my belt using the Dewalt extended pole chainsaw. This is the model, 140-inch length, and I'll show you in just a little bit how this telescopes out. But I wanted to share with you what I think of this tool. Maybe it'll help you decide whether or not you want to purchase it. I bought this off of Acme Tools. I got it for about 500, I think it was 580 bucks. I bought the kit where you get the battery and you're going to get a charger with it as well. And right out of the box, really easy setup. The chainsaw unit is detached, and you just slip it on there and a couple of screws here that you tighten up, nothing to it. Same thing with the electric motor side. You just attach that onto the telescoping rod here, and again, just you tighten up that set screw. Now I did have this loosen up after about the first hour, so I just quickly tightened it and I haven't had a problem since. Now the reason I go with Dewalt, it's a matter of interchangeability with the batteries. Once you start buying some of the different tools, whether it be a head shear that I've got an extended head shears, quite a few different tools I'm adding, but it's the interchangeability with the batteries that you can pop that on to another tool. So I've had good luck with Dewalt overall. Now the reason I went with the 60-volt model, I didn't want to be short on power. I'm going to be cutting some branches that are 4-inch, 6-inch, 8-inch, and when you're extended out 10 feet plus, you don't want to have lack of power, because if you've ever done any chainsaw work, as soon as you get shifting on those heavy branches, you can get a pinching, and you want to have the power there where you can quickly get out before it pinches. And I just wasn't comfortable with that 20-volt model, which I think was about half the price in that 250 to 300 range. But I didn't want to get stuck with a lack of power. So not only do I get longevity with the battery, which by the way, I got, I'm going to guess it was hour, maybe hour and a half of fairly consistent use. At first, when I put this together, when you pick it up, I had a little buyer's remorse. I'm thinking, once I extend this out, boy, I tell you what, this thing, it's not light necessarily. But what I found is once you get up on the ladder or you're just extending it out to cut a branch, once you get it up there, you know, you're actually, that weight is resting on the branch. And then once you get active doing it, your body kind of adjusts to it. And I found that it really didn't seem that heavy at all after using it for quite a while. Now on this chain, that's a 10-inch bar. You want to make sure you add some chain bar oil here before you get started. You don't want that reservoir to dry out, because once you start heating up that metal, that's what fatigues it, and you can ruin your chain, just won't cut as well. Now I only had the chain pop off one time, and typically that happens when you're limbing or you're getting some of the dead branches out of the way. So it's oftentimes some of the smaller branches that cause it to slip off. But it was real quick and easy to unscrew this collar here with that one set bolt, pretty much the same standard way to change any chainsaw blade. And then you've got a tightening screw that you can loosen up to be able to get that chain on and then tighten it back up. Okay, I'll give you a quick rundown on why I'm pruning these branches back, which, if I hadn't mentioned it, are green ash trees. It's hard to believe, looking back, just how small these trees were only about 15 to 16 years ago. And oftentimes shelter belts like this are planted too close together to establish that wind and privacy screen quickly. But I've reached a point now where I need to get these ash trees cut back away from the spruce trees, since they're starting to block the sun during the summer months and causing the needles to drop. And the spruce trees are valuable to me since they give me a year-round screen. I've actually had one neighbor, he took his whole row of ash trees completely out, and I hope it doesn't come to that, but I guess it's possible. I find that the cleanup and disposal of the branches is probably the worst part of a project like this. And since I don't have a machine to chip them, I've found that the quickest and easiest way to get these branches out of here is to pile them up in small piles and drag them out into an area where I can load them up on my trailer. But before I load them up, I'll cut them into smaller sections and keep some of the larger branches for firewood. I've got a recycling center nearby that I can bring them to, where they chip and grind them down into wood mulch. That wood mulch is then available for homeowners and landscapers to purchase. Okay, so overall, I like it. I really like this tool. I'm glad I went with the 60 volt. And I did look, after I purchased this, there is one model that's she's almost twice as much. I'm into that $900 range. And the only thing that I could see different was that the electric motor apparently has you can feather it, you can adjust. And on electric motors, that was the one thing I had to get used to on a chainsaw, is it's when you pull it, it's on fast. Compared to gas models, you get that feathering, and sometimes that's a little bit easier when you're working with those smaller branches where you don't want maximum throttle. But you get used to it pretty quick with the electric models, where it's just instantly on, instantly off. So that's my 2 cents on the extended pole pruner, the Dewalt. I hope this helps you make your decision. We'll see you again next video.